Hi there, it's Tracy Devet from tracydevet.com, and that's spelled with a W, not a V. What is it that holds us back? Have you ever thought about that? Well, it's something that took me quite a few years to realize, and it took years of studying psychology and actually hating what psychologists actually do. But when I found hypnotherapy, that was a life-changing stage for me. And the reason is that hypnotherapy does a load of things that talking therapies just can't even reach, because our rational and conscious mind is not really where the problem is. It's part of the problem because it's the part that makes excuses and tries to reason things out and tries to make sense of things and can get very belligerent and very stubborn about stuff. But actually the problem is usually a subconscious behavior pattern that's been set up long ago, normally in our childhood, might even be, like from the moment that we were born. It depends what situation we were entered into when we're actually born. And all of these things have molded us and shaped us. But that's the thing, is that they're molding us and shaping us. When do we get the chance to mold ourselves and shape ourselves into what we want? And here is one of the biggest life lessons that I learned, is that you can shrug off all of these things that other people have put on you, all of these expectations, all these ideas that you think or thought you had to abide by, and reinvent them to suit yourself, because that is the secret to enjoying life. Now, I'm not saying here you need to, chuck out every rule. Obviously, society needs to have rules to function properly. So we're not talking about throwing away the law book or anything like that, but we're talking about making yourself feel better within the situations that you're in, getting over all these past niggly things that can and have been influencing your life. And these ideas have been, you've learned them somewhere along the way. Somebody's taught them to you. And it's kind of like, who taught you to be a perfectionist? Now, being a perfectionist might seem like a great idea. And some of the highest achievers are actually perfectionists. They want things done properly, and that's why they get somewhere. But these high achievers are also some of the unhappiest people you come across, because if you're a perfectionist, life are some of the unhappiest people you come across. They can't relax. They can't settle down. They're what's termed as highly strung, because life is not perfect. Things are chaotic and messy. Yes, we're here to make some sense out of it and put some order into the world, but we're not here to control everything. And the stress that can come from that is what brings people to their knees with work stress, panic attacks. How many of you watching this are on some sort of medication for anxiety or sleep or stress reduction or depression? I'm guessing quite a lot, because that's the go-to at the moment and has been for decades. Anybody with some kind of a problem, off we go and we get some tabs. Now, I'm not saying that they don't help people. Obviously, they do, but they don't tackle the root cause. And who wants to be on those meds for the rest of your life? Have you read the side effects? Have you experienced them yourself? So in my world, meds are not normally the answer. They can help you through, like a vehicle that you can jump on and ride the bus until better times. And then you need to see your doctor about making changes to having those medications, if you can. So you want to be changing things. You want to be letting stuff go, and you want to be realizing that making mistakes, you don't need to hold them against yourself. They are learning experiences. And if you treat life as a series of learning experiences instead of traps and things with which to negate yourself, such as guilt and blame and regret, once you let these go, it's not that you don't feel it's not that you feel less than human and you're not going to feel this going forward. Of course it can, because you're an empathetic, sympathetic soul, right? So it's not going to get rid of that for you. But what it's going to do is expand your world, expand your horizons, and help you make better decisions, even if it's just to feel better about the situation that you might be in now, because it's very, very easy to get stuck with our own mind telling us all these coulda, shoulda, woulda, and what you need to do and what you cannot do and what you must and mustn't do. And we place so many barriers around ourselves that it keeps us paralyzed. It keeps us in a cage, in our own inner cage, without us even realizing it. But the great news is you can break out of them with the right help. You can, and it can happen quicker than you realize and quicker than you think. So life-changing hypnotherapy and hypnotherapeutic techniques are what I'm talking about, and that's what I came across in my life and absolutely transformed the way I saw the world, how I lived at home, how I was doing, making my way through the world, and how I was feeling, that I'd made wrong turns, I'd made bad decisions, and I was living with the consequences. And I didn't think there was anything that I could do about those. But once I'd had hypnotherapy and got rid of all this literally crap from the past, the burden is so much lighter, and you can start to see the possibility. And once you start seeing the possibilities and you get your supreme confidence back, that you were born with, that maybe you forgot you had or was never developed properly, but it's still there and it can still help you now. So once you discover that, then life takes on a completely different hue. You can enjoy things. You can change things. You can let go of all sorts of things that have held you back. And it doesn't matter how old you are, now is a great time to make those changes. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed what I was talking about, and get in touch with the links below. I'd love to hear from you. Comment if you like. And more than that, if you are ready to let the past go, to jump into the new you, or the you that you should have always been if life hadn't kicked you around a bit and not gone according to plan, then let's get rid of all of that and let's move into the future and have you absolutely embracing and enjoying life. Because if you don't do it now, then when? There's no time like the present. And there's absolutely no reason for you to be carrying on, walking around with all these burdens of what people have put upon you or what you've put upon yourself. So Tracy DeVette from tracydevette.com, get in touch. I'm also at www.tdw-hypnotherapy.co.uk. And I do online sessions as well, anywhere in the world. So distance is absolutely no problem.